Good afternoon, everyone. I want to welcome each and everyone to the fifth round of nominations for the Proud of Them Youth Recognition Initiative. This is an initiative that is jointly supported by the Ministry of Community Affairs, Youth and Sports and the National Youth Commission. My name is Joel Francis. I'm the Assistant Chief Officer in the Ministry, and my job is really to just be the master of ceremonies for today's process. I also wear a double hat in that I'm the chair of the National Youth Commission Proud of Them Committee, and I'd like to welcome also Minister Bodden to the head table. Without further ado, I'd like to invite him to make a few remarks regarding this round of nominations.
Thank you, Joel, and a pleasant good afternoon to everyone. I'm pleased to be here again to undertake one of the most pleasant duties of my office, to welcome the submission of names which are indicative of the many promising young people of our Cayman Islands. I invite the public, friends, acquaintances, and others who are aware of their sterling efforts to help us to ensure that the silent majority of bright young men and women are not overlooked. According to modern science, the brains of teens not yet fully developed, and they are not completely responsible for decision making, especially in assessing the effects of risky behavior. I beg to differ, for as we embark on the fifth round of faces, which will be heralded on billboards across our islands, there is no shortage of mature, focused young people here in Cayman. Yes, they will have hurdles and challenges, as we all have endured, but the best way to overcome these growing pains is to fill their time with positive interests from sports and academics to honing their sense of personal responsibility and their commitment to any task with good Caymanian stick-to-itiveness. As a parent of 3 young people, including 2 young adults and a teenager, I can state that our young people are dynamos. They usually possess the vision, energy, and youthful optimism necessary to drive any personal interests and undertakings. Their special interests range from medicine and mechanics to teaching and the sciences. I continue to encourage everyone, the government agencies, private sector benefactors, as well as individuals, churches, and service clubs, to help our youth to make the best of any opportunities and achieve their full potential. I'm pleased to work with dozens of government staff with expert knowledge to diverse subject areas, but who will all hold the development of our future leaders as a priority. I therefore ask that the public joins me and them and provide input into the nominations process for this fifth round of Proud of Them recognitions. I congratulate the National Youth Commission, which is now chaired by Reverend Donovan Myers, for initiating this program some years back. On behalf of government, I applaud the previous recipients and remind you that you will always be in the spotlight and serve as role models. May you all continue to go from strength to strength. God bless and thank you.
Thank you, Minister Bodden. It's just now for me to explain a little bit about the nomination process. So we're seeking nominations for young people between the ages of 10 and 25 who have excelled or achieved exceptional attainment in one of 6 categories. The categories are academics, careers, business, sports, culture, and or community service. For community service, we're looking for a young person who has demonstrated through the spirit of volunteerism and selflessness a passion for the betterment of his or her community and improving the standing of his fellow humanity. I think the other categories are fairly self-explanatory if they've achieved a significant attainment in those subject areas. The nomination process will be open from today until January 16th. It's a little bit longer than we normally would have, but because of the Christmas holidays, we thought we'd have a long process which would start before Christmas, but will give persons enough time to get nominations in if they were not able to get them before the Christmas rush and so on. The target will then be to evaluate them and have the billboards set up early February. So I think that explains just basically the nomination process. We would like to encourage people to use the electronic nomination process. There's an electronic form available on the ministry's website, which is www.mnyoc.gov.my. cays.gov.ky, and it really helps us administratively if you do your nominations electronically. There's capacity there to attach whatever supporting documentation you wish, and we encourage you to send in supporting documentation to support any claims or achievements that you've stated on behalf of a young person, because when you're assessing them, then it really helps the process. If you make a statement and there's no sort of supporting documentation, and it's not widely known or can be confirmed through the media in any way, then it weakens the nomination, and that person may well not be selected. Normally, people ask about those who were nominated from the last round, and as we normally do, we'll carry forward a certain portion of those to be evaluated in this round, because we know people get sort of nomination tiredness, if I could call it, for want of a better word. But we will carry forward a number of those. We had about 20 or so people who were within 10 points of the 12 that were selected in the last round. So we will carry forward a number of those, but we ask people to revisit their nominations, and where there's any additional information, to please send that information for persons who may not have been selected in the last round of nominations. So,
Yeah. Joel, thanks. I think that you've summarized it well. Just to say that, we often get a lot of young people nominated, and we want to, I'm sure this time will be no different. And just remember that it doesn't matter don't leave nomination for someone else. If you think that somebody is deserving, nominate them. It's just like with the National Heroes Day. It's the same. The nomination is too many won't hurt. Okay? So if you feel that someone is deserving of a nomination, nominate them. Don't wait until someone else, and then you go, oh my, that person should have gotten this. So nominate them, and as Joel said, the quality has been extremely high in the past years, and we expect no different. And we're looking forward to another new round of faces, and the usual where we give them their little stipend that they look forward to. And it's just a really nice endeavor, and I think that it's become quite popular. And those young people who get their names up in lights, as it were, they continue to do well, and they make us all proud. And it's really something that, in this day of challenges for our youth, I think it's very, very important that we show that positive side.
thank you, Minister Bodden. And so, if there are any questions from.
So it's just really a follow-up and asking to expand a little bit why it's important for us to do this.
Well, like I just said, I think that, the media oftentimes portrays young people in sometimes rightly so, where they're wayward or whatever, and they carry that side of the stories, but we don't get enough positive stories, in my opinion. I think this Proud of Them initiative was started because of that. I continued it. It started under the previous administration. I've continued it. I think this is my fourth out of the 5. Is that correct, Joel?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, I think so. I think there was one round before I became minister, and it's really it's just a joy to be around these young people and their families when they're nominated, and when we have the various events for them. And what I'd like to do is to use them as much as we can whenever we're doing anything. They're ambassadors. Utilize them. Just don't let them, just go through the term kind of quietly. I'd like to see us find a little more uses for them along the way. So that's the one thing I'd enhance it with. I brought in the stipend for them, which they really enjoy, and coming up now, I guess, I don't know when we'll be paying the next one.
It would be around about February.
Around about February. So
Early
they won't get a Christmas stipend because they're not nominated yet. But they do appreciate it, and it just bodes for good teens and excellent community spirit.
You have another question?
Hope I'm good. That was perfect.
Sure.
And just to say, it's not. I think we all accept that bad news sells in terms of the media, and we do have media partners in this initiative now. They do publish sort of profiles on the young people who have been selected, and we thank them for their support in that way. So if I could close by just reinforcing the nomination period, it will start today, and it will run until 16th of January 2016. The categories that you can nominate young people in are academics, careers, businesses, sports, culture, and community service. and it is for those between the ages of 10 and 25, which is the age of youth according to the National Youth Policy. And please utilize
Just missed it.
please utilize the electronic nomination form as far as possible. It's available on the ministry website, which is www.mcays.gov.ky. Thank you all for your support by turning out today, and we look forward to a strong nomination process.
Thank you.